Welcome to another episode of the United Fan Zone. Manchester United 2, PAOK 0. How are you feeling about it, Mikey?
Uh, uh, Mixed emotions, a little bit of it. Happy that we won first and foremost.
Yeah.
Happy we were able to get the dub. I mean, but not. I wasn't too happy in the first half for sure.
Yeah, no.
But other than that, I mean, good way to steady the ship. Rude, good job there. And how you feel? What'd you think about it?
I'm the same, man. I wasn't particularly overly happy. I think we still look sluggish. Finishing is still clearly an issue for Manchester United. I'm kind of, hey, where are we at? Just ready for the new man to come in. I'm not expecting anything right off the bat. He's clearly stated in his press conferences, Man United can't play the way Sporting do. So let's see how he does. Hopefully, it's a little better than what we're playing now, though.
Yeah, I mean, so like, all right, let's talk about the game. So like the
Yeah.
first half, right? It was weird.
Mhm.
It's not that they were just bad. It was just that there was lapses in concentration a lot of the time. Garnacho, like you said last week, I didn't agree with you at first when
Yeah.
you were like he's tired, but today clearly he was gone after like 27 minutes. Like I saw him laboring after, and I'm like, yeah, his legs are he's knackered. He got to come off and get some rest.
Yeah.
A lot of people in that I was at work watching this game. I wasn't at the pub, so I was talking in the group chat, and some people were just like, he's 20 years old. He should be up and down the pitch. And I'm like, yes and no. Because like
Yeah.
they're still overplaying somebody. Like you can still play people into fatigue. And the games are coming fast now, right? Every
Yeah.
3 days. So I thought he was bad, but I'll give him a bly because he's tired. Evidently he's tired. Like it's clear as day he's tired.
Yeah.
Not too happy with the midfield. I think they tried some things. I think Bruno once again gave the ball up a lot, trying some things. But in the second half, it looked like they got settled.
Yeah.
It came out with a philosophy and they got settled. Now it was a couple of times where it was weird. Oh yeah, well they almost gave up that goal.
Oh,
If
yeah.
the striker was more clinical, he would be
Mikey, you
scoring
could have
that
scored that
because I
goal.
don't know how. Two times they almost gave up a goal. Guy was in
Yeah.
front of the goal and Onana saved it. Don't know how. Don't know how he didn't put that away. But like
Mhm.
against better sides, those are goals.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. The only difference I'm going to say right there, though, is I don't think that Lindelof should be playing. I know we have to do rotates, but um, he did not look good tonight. Lindelof did not look good. Not that Johnny Evans looked good at all, but Lindelof did not look good. I think he was just out of his depth, and that's saying something when we're playing poke. Blake saying he's human, still needs a break every now and then again. Absolutely, Blake. He needs a break. But yeah, I think it was a thrown together team. We're playing poke, so he's just like, oh, we should easily win this. I went with 3-0, 2-0. But yeah, I still think it was lackluster. Still not getting the ball into Højlund. Ahmed did Ahmed was clearly man of the match tonight. And one of the things that I point out that he did for that second goal that I haven't seen a Man United player do in a long time is that tenaciousness to get that ball back. And it was just something I haven't seen. And it was a very good dry run for Amorim to see the tenaciousness of getting that ball back, because that's what he likes to see. So I no one else on that field I felt tonight showed Amorim that, hey, I belong in this side, other than Ahmed tonight.
Yeah, I think the only constant outside of Ahmed was Mazraoui.
Mm-hmm.
Mazraoui was just his normal self out there. He wasn't great. He wasn't too bad. He was just constant.
Yeah.
Still love that dude. I love his play style. Love how he could. The thing with him is that like he'll get the ball back. He's gonna go after the ball. He'll keep the ball. He progresses the ball, right? So like when he has it, I'm not worried. I'm just looking for who's gonna come and get it. Then I'm worried again, and that's the issue. I'm just always worried when somebody else possesses the ball. Ugarte today was good. He spread the ball out a little bit that I liked. I like to see that from him because he's not really good at that.
Yeah.
So I like to see that he spread it around a little bit today. He put his toe in on some good tackles, intercepted some ball that needed to be in the final third. Excited to see that. Always happy to see when our new signing can do it. I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
I'm not as wowed
Yeah.
as everybody else. I need to see that, okay, that clear cut performance where you took the game and you made it your own. I still haven't seen that from him yet, but today, decent. The back line, don't know what's going on, but once again, Lindelof doesn't need to be here anymore. He just doesn't need to be. But
Mm.
like for games like this is where you put in a Lindelof, right? This is a game
Yeah.
made for him. Like you don't want to be wasting good starters when you could play Lindelof for however many minutes. But yeah, Ahmad today stole the show. I'm arguing with a guy in 1878 Casuals page that has this crazy thing for Anthony. Says Anthony should play because the manager sees something in practice, and now Anthony's hurt, so he couldn't play. But
He was
if
on the
if
bench
it's
today.
if it's up to if it's up to guys like that, they think Anthony should play because the manager says so. Well, the
Yeah.
manager's gone. That manager's gone now, and Ahmad should start. He's not going to be a world beater every game. That's the thing I need people to realize with Ahmad. Ahmad's
Yeah.
not going to come in and give you 10 performances every game. None of these guys do.
Mm.
That's the crazy part. Like even our best player don't give you that consistently. We got to get to that. But not playing for no reason does not help.
No.
Not playing just because, oh, you didn't do well in practice. Like, yeah, sometimes the practice doesn't translate to the game. You want it to, but sometimes it doesn't. Anthony could be great against the cones. He could be great against the under 21s. He could be great in the rondo. He could be great in shooting and practicing by himself. But when he gets on the pitch, it doesn't translate.
Yeah. And let's not forget, in training, you're not allowed to go in hard on these players. So yeah, he might look good in training, but you really think 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀's going to go in on him or Ugate's going to go in on him? No, of course he's not. Now I am willing to say this for Anthony. He has two choices. One, leave Manchester United. Two, try if Amorim wants him to convert him onto the left. And that's going to take time. That's his only options at Manchester United. He isn't playing right wing back. He's just not going to. That is just a done deal. He might have a chance as a bench player as a left wing back. Amorim's already looking at Sporting's left wing back, that young 18-year-old kid already. If he's going to bring two players, he's going to bring the left wing back and he's going to bring the striker. And that'll be in the summer. But that's his choice. He's got two options. Leave Man United or be converted to a left wing back. Now, can he do it? Yes, I believe he can. Get across him with the left. Amorim doesn't always necessarily want that ball being crossed in. He likes to pack the center of midfield. So you got two options. You go out on the left, and let's be fair to him. He does track back really well. So you've got a player there that can play the left wing back. Now, are you going to play him over 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀 on the left? Because we know Rashford's going to sit in the 10 with Bruno. That's just going to happen. Rashford plays better off in the 10. That's where when he scored 30 goals in the season, that's where he kind of played, especially with Luke Shaw going down the left. So it's all down to whether he wants to play that. It's between him and 𝙈𝙊𝙍 this season. But other than that, just I can't see any future for him at Manchester United. The fact that Mason Mount got on the pitch before he did today shows what the staff actually truly think of him now that Ten Hag's gone. Would you agree?
I think the Mason Mount thing is just to get him some minutes.
Yeah.
The game was done and dusted, and you got a guy that's coming fresh off injury. Put him in the game, give him some minutes, give him some real time minutes.
Yeah.
And it weren't necessarily meaningful minutes, but they're good for a guy that's coming off injury. So
Mhm.
not mad at that. Want Mason Mount to succeed. I want him to be better. I want him to. Well, I just want him to play. Like,
Yeah.
just get on the pitch, then we could see what's up. But that's kind of been an issue for us now. Hopefully that's behind him and we ease him. I like it. You eased him into the game. That's
Yeah.
giving him some minutes that he could use. What I will say is Anthony, I don't think he's leaving. Anthony will not command us. He really won't command. This is a Phil Jones type situation here. He's not going to command any kind of money close to what we paid for him, and he's just going to wait it out and get his money. And you know what? With Rude coming in and putting Ahmad straight in the team and getting him, him getting those 2 goals today, it just shows that Ten Hag was really trying to make this Anthony experiment work, and he had his guys. And Anthony was one of his guys. He defended Anthony to the hilt, and like Anthony never made good on. He kind of helped Ten Hag lose his job. He did.
It
He was
also
one of
goes,
the
yeah.
he
It
was one of
also
the
goes.
main components
No,
of
he
losing
wasn't.
his job.
And that also goes to show that Ugarte didn't have the best of games today. But one thing I've noticed since he's came back is the lack of holes in our midfield. Now, do we still give up shots? Yes. Every team is going to give up shots. City give them up, Liverpool give them up, but it's limiting the amount of shots that you are giving up per game. And that gap is not there anymore with him and Casemiro in the midfield. Now, obviously, Mainu plays a very similar role as Casemiro does, so Mainu's going to fit in there pretty nicely. So for me, I think Ugarte shored up that midfield. Again, didn't have the greatest of games today, but we've seen him have a lot better games. And that goes to show, too, he clearly didn't want Ugarte. I know you haven't been on the show in a couple of weeks, so I haven't really talked to you about this. That also got him fired as well. This whole he wasn't fit clearly was bias. And it kind of shows me that, in a way, Ten Hag was a little out of his depth at Man United.
Yeah, I will say it didn't help. I think it was a number of things, and that was one of them. That didn't help. I don't think Ugarte changes the outcome if he, because
Yeah.
like we have several different issues, and we're still seeing them. Even with Rude, we're still seeing it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, Ten Hag, man, in the last few days since he hasn't been here, what has it been like 10 days now? He hasn't been
Yeah.
been coached. It's been nice to see these guys not look too much out of the game. Like
Yeah.
today, they looked out of it a little bit, but they didn't look like I didn't feel like we're gonna lose that game. I
Yeah.
didn't feel like I was a little upset for sure that we weren't dominating this team that's in this. I'm not now. If you get to know me, I'm not somebody that disrespects leagues that people are in
Yeah.
because I understand the professionalism it takes to get to that level. I've never gotten to that level. The highest I've ever played is high school. Okay, I played a little bit in college, but legs were gone by that point. It wasn't gonna happen. But to get to the Greek league, one of my favorite players in the Greek league. So to get to that league, and I'm not going to disrespect them, but they are with the wage bill and the amount of quality, whatnot. They were a team to be had by us. If we lost today, it would be world news.
Oh, yeah.
It
That
would
would have
be
been bad.
world news. So we came out, we handled business, but it was almost expected. So I have to temper my expectations of this team based on the quality of opposition. This is with all due respect to that side. Let me give them a little bit of credit here. They handled the game way better than I thought. And shout out to the opposition fans for a second. They were on it
Yeah, they
from
were.
when they got in there. And when you panned over and looked at that crowd, people with their shirts off,
Oh, yeah.
screaming, cussing us. I mean, they looked scary, those guys. They looked scary. They looked like they were on something. And I like that. I like that in football. I want to see some more of that with some respect involved, of course. But yeah, don't want to disrespect the opposition, but they were there to be had. In the second half, we handled business. But I would like to, if it was Man United, I would like to see 90 minutes of that.
Yeah.
Give me 90 minutes, not 45, not 30. Give me 90 minutes of dominating possession football to where they don't even get a shot on goal.
Yeah.
And then
Do
I'll
you,
feel like, okay, maybe we've turned the corner here. Maybe we can figure it out. But there was a couple times where guys are just not where they're supposed to be. And real quick, what we're doing in defense, a better side will exploit, right?
yeah.
When you come up from off your line as a defender, because I watched, I thought Kamara, I think it was Kamara or the one striker they had, winger. He beat like 4 guys
Mm-hmm.
going with the ball, And then Lindelof comes off his line, and I'm like, yo, if you don't win this ball, we're in trouble now.
Yeah.
Like, when you come off of that, you have to win it or take the man out. One or
Hmm.
the other has to happen because now there's spacing behind. And that's what Chelsea was doing to us. We
Yeah.
would overcommit on defense and they would run in behind to the space. And another team that's better on their day will be clinical and finish that. They're going to finish their food. So we got to have that back line, although it's a shifted back line. We need all of those defenders that's on the bench or even starting to know that y'all have to be accountable for each other.
Yeah.
There
And you
has
could
to
see
be
that
that.
in the sporting game. They were very accountable for each other. Like I watched them the transition from a back three to a back five. The sporting was flawless, flawless. Like let's take away the fact that City got a goal in 4 minutes. That can happen against any team.
And the city.
Yeah, in the City, that back line was flawless, dude. Like it was a straight line throughout the game. It was the minute City got that ball. I've never seen a team go from a back three to a back five so quickly and be so straight. And it's like telepathical. They just knew where each other were, and it was. I know we're not going to play like that. I'm getting overexcited right away. I can't wait to see that though in 6-7 months at Manchester United. To see that back line be flawless. And I hope he is ruthless when it comes in. Like, hey, you're not playing very well. You're done. Bye. We saw it at Sporting when he came in. A lot of players that were there were like big name stars in the Portuguese league, and he was like, "No, you're done. We're getting rid of you." I hope he does something similar at Man United because I really want to see that one-touch pass. And the midfield cut City apart. Now I know we talked about this the other day. That City backline isn't exactly on par right now. They've got a lot of injuries, but still, there's some good names in that team, and they still cut City apart in that second half. He made some adjustments from the first half, and he just tore them apart on the counter attack. So yeah, I'm looking forward to coming to see that towards the end of this year. I think it's going to take time to teach the team. I think it's a lot in drills going on, a lot of time in the training situation before we see that. But I'm excited to see that. Considering what you said today, there ain't nobody coming off that line. The Sporting go take a ball. When they were attacking, that entire line dropped back, and the midfield dropped back with them. So you're absolutely right, and I'm looking forward to seeing a different way of things that are done at Man United.
Yeah, with the City game, right? With that, I was very excited to see that. And City were the favorites. They were the favorites to win. They're always the favorites. They're
Yeah.
possibly the best team in the world, right? Not at the moment, based on form, probably not. But man for man, they probably have the best players on the planet.
Yeah.
I think the only people to rival them are Real Madrid, and they're not firing at the moment either, right? So I think they handled that game well. And I think when Amarin comes in, the scouting department that he's going to put together is what's going to make this team. That's the only thing I will nail on and say, you know what? Amarin's going to scout. He's going to put his scouts to work, and because they figure it out at Sporting.
Yeah.
They figure it out. Okay, we can't pay. Like I said the other day, there's only like 16 teams that could pay big money, and Sporting's like on that lower level of like 14th or 15th team that could pay some money because they're a bigger side in Portugal, probably like the third biggest side, right? So they were very methodical in how they recruited and were way better with developing talent to get poached. They're like any team in let's just say a team in France, right? They develop players, poach them, whatever the case may be. Amarim, that's what he does. That's his thing, is building the guys. So I'm anxious to see the guys that he's gonna bring in, and they're not gonna be people that we know. I feel like it's not gonna be like in the last few years, bro. We've been asking for a CDM. We was crying out for that. We got Casemiro, right? We were crying out for central midfielders in general. And like we kind of knew who we were gonna get and who we were crying out for, and Man United tried to make it happen. But for the most part, I want to see him go after some guys that I haven't heard of because they know they can fit a role. They
Yeah.
could do something. I want to be looking up this. Like I've never seen this guy play before, and then they come in and go crazy because Fergie was like that.
Hmm.
Fergie would go out and sign a Mexican striker.
Yeah.
Fergie will go out and find, he'll find somebody and they'll figure it out. It'll be guys that like weren't on the first choice for you to think, but they fit a certain play style that he was trying to implement for the position. And I want to go back to that. I think that's one of the few. I hate to do the Fergie comparison. I think that's one of the few things we can do still
Hmm.
is recruit well, and I want to see how he like uses that to translate in the youth setup.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the youth setup's going to be massive. The youth setup for Manchester United right now is insane. Just hammered Leeds the other day. We got 𝗕𝗓𝙁 in there, scoring freaking hat tricks again. So that's a player. I don't think he's quite ready yet. But maybe at the beginning of next season, I think he'll be ready to be on the bench for Manchester United. At least in like maybe the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, put him on the bench, maybe bring him on for the last 10 minutes. So I can really see the youth academy being a big part of Man United. Casey is saying, does it concern you that he has a 2.5-year contract? It doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't concern me, I think they learned their lesson from firing manager. You give him a 2.5-year contract. If what he is saying, I like, he was talking the other day about Man City. He keeps saying, Man United is the team I wanted. Man United is the team I wanted. If he does well at Man United, like I hope and expect him to do, if he does well and wins Man United the title in the next 3 years, who can he go to that's higher than Man United, other than possibly Real Madrid or Barcelona? Because we all know he's not going to go to City now. There's no way he joins Man City as a manager after being a Man United manager. Players have done that. Look at Schmeichel. For me, Schmeichel's a Judas. Like, he might be one of our best goalies of all time, but he's a Judas. He played for City. You can't do that as a coach, man. You like, I know Mark Hughes played at Man United and then went to manage City, but that's a little different player. And he didn't exactly leave Man United on the best of terms either. So who are you going to go to? So it doesn't. I think Man United are being conservative. I think they're going to give him a 2.5-year contract. And like Mikey said, if he ain't doing good after a year and a half, 2 years, move on.
Yeah, we gotta I used to be, and I can say this because like I get it wrong. I say a lot of things, I would get some of them wrong. I used to be one of those people that's like, hey, we gotta hold on to a coach and figure it out, and that's how we got the Ten Hag situation, right? And like it ended up being good until it wasn't. And you know what's crazy? Real quick, people are starting to do that with Arteta now. So Arteta's getting he's lost 3 games, and people are starting to look at him like, what's going on? No. He's taking them to the highest that they've been in a long time. The highest finish, almost winning the league twice that they've ever been, and they're starting to look at him crazy. So just imagine what it's going to be for Amorim, right? I used to be one of those people. We don't want to be like Chelsea. We want to figure it out. We want to listen. If this guy is not showing us a play style, showing us some fun football, some exciting football, the players are not loving their football, and like, just showing us a style of play that gets us at least goals. Like we solved the goal problem, we solved the midfield problem, we solved the defensive problem, we solved the injury problem. We could get at least 3 of those 4 things. So injury is always going to be there. So if we can get really 3 or 2 of those 4 things handled in the next 18 months, I will be okay. I'll be okay regardless of where we are in the league. Now we can't be too far down in the league now, but like I'm chalking this season's a write-off. I feel we win a cup competition. I still feel like we can win the Europa League. We were in the Europa League. Maybe finish 7th, 5th. I'm all right with that. We go again. Transfer window, new signings, money paid, and his guys are brought in, and the scouting department gets a chance to look at some more guys. They've had the time, they've had the areas to scout, and they bring back some good intel with some new guys, and they've transitioned to bettering the youth team, and we see where that is.
Yeah.
I'm all good there, bro. But we gotta sack people, You got to sack you till you get the right one. Your job, any job that you're at, right? A lot of people quit. People got sacked before you got there, unless it's a brand new company. People quit. They quit their job. They either did it well or not. They quit. They got another job, or they sacked people before then, and they got another job. They had to do it till they got you, and hopefully you're the right guy. And then when they show you, you're not the right guy, they get rid of you too. Or if you
Yeah.
can't do the job but don't want to be there, find a better opportunity, you leave. That's how we have to treat this football club.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with getting the right players, like you said, I think the summer's going to be a big one. The only thing I'm concerned about is him going back to Sporting for too many players. We saw it with Ten Hag. That's the only thing I'm concerned about, because just because they play really well over there doesn't necessarily they're going to convert into Premier League. So I'm concerned, but as long as we can limit, maybe getting the left wing back is 18, looks fantastic. Maybe the striker, even though he didn't do too well in England the last time he was here. Those two players I'd be fine with, but we're definitely going to need to look at some defenders this summer. That's definitely somewhere we're going to have to look at. Losing Lindelof, high possibility for me. Harry Maguire, I know he when he came back, he did really well. He's starting to get injury prone a lot right now. He's on the wrong side of 30, and he cannot play Amorim's system. He can't play the system. There's no reason why he should still be at Man United past August next year. And this is a great time to get maybe 20 million for him. So for me, that's two. And then with, another, what's his name going? Evans going. That's 3 defenders we're going to lose this summer. Quite possible. We're going to need some young backup defenders coming in to support Yoro, Martinez, and 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀. Maybe one that he likes. But right wing, I think we're good. Left wing, we need sorted out, and striker, we need sorting out. I don't think we need too much. I don't like this when we go out and buy 6-7 players, because when you do that, you're disrupting the team, kind of, if you know what I mean. We need to be in a position kind of like where Liverpool are, where City, where it's like, oh, Rodri's out, he's our best player. Let's go pick up a new player or 2 players. You know what I mean? That's the position that we need to find ourselves past this summer. That's where we need to be.
I feel like I'm okay with buying. I'm not okay with buying a bunch of players like Chelsea. That I'm not with. But the thing with Liverpool that I disagree on is that Liverpool could be 1 or 2 injuries away from not contending, and
Yeah.
the players are older now. So like, they're trying to win now, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to get to it now. Salah's getting older. Van Dijk's getting older. Those guys they're maturing. Who else? Robinson's he's been with the team a long time. Probably not old, but these guys are maturing now. So, but all it takes is one injury to Van Dijk, an injury to Mo Salah, and now we're looking. Now it looks a little funny. I would like at every position there to be an understanding that like you're battling for your position every week, and like the games will decide, practice will decide if you play, right? And like your backup has to be ready. It has to be next man up. It has to be, all right, 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙀, you can't go. Martinez, you're in, or whoever else we sign, you're in now. That's what it is, to supplement the injury issues that we have at Man United. So I'm okay with buying 5 or 6 players at different positions to have a battle to see who's going to start. And these guys have to understand, hey, you're not just going to make it here because we paid you a lot of money.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I mean in the summer, yeah, if you want to get 5 players, go out and get 5 players. I meant beyond that, kind of like, because Fergie, like you said, I don't like go back to Fergie, but a lot of teams get that. Pep gets there. Bayern get there. Getting to a point after this summer, I'm kind of meaning where we only need to go buy 1 or 2 players. Once our players like Liverpool, they're probably going to lose Trent. They're probably going to lose Salah. They're probably going to lose Van Dijk this summer. That's massive for Liverpool. So you're right, they're trying to win now because I think they know, hey, this is the last time we're going to have this core team. Especially losing Salah and losing Van Dijk, that's like losing Vidic and Ronaldo at the same time, or Rio and Ronaldo at the same time. So I would like United to get to that position just after the summer, buying maybe 1 or 2 players where, you know, you come in, change things up, give, you know, some competition. Because Fergie always got to that stage where like he wouldn't go out and buy 5 or 6 players in the summer. He'd buy 1, 2, maybe 3 players in the summer. So that's kind of where I'm at. I want to talk about Leny Yoro. How do you think he's gonna do when he's coming back? It looks like he's not going to be back for the weekend. It looks more likely he's going to be back, maybe getting 10 minutes in the following game after the international break.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen enough of him to have a real. I haven't seen enough of him at Man United. I've
Yeah.
seen him before. I haven't seen enough of him now. He hasn't played really, so it's kind of up in the air. He could either be the generational talent that everybody's touting him to be, or he could be a major flop, or just a squad player. Those.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping for the squad player, international side of the game of it, as far as opposed to the flop, because we don't need
Mhm.
that. But from what I've seen in him before, guy can handle the rock, can pass it. He has a little bit of pace on him. I think he's more of a gazelle
Mhm.
than it's not really pace. It's more big strides, big powerful strides. Something that Xerxes doesn't do, who's 6'4",
Yeah.
but it's not fast, right? There's no the strides aren't there. Whereas Leny Yoro could get back with some pace, but mainly because he could cover a lot of ground. The passing is his number one attribute. He
Mhm.
can get the real quick. Onana today with some of his passes, starting attacks, bringing the once they were waiting for somebody to commit. Good night, Avery. Okay, okay, head on upstairs now, Avery. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's
My
good.
little one is here.
We've all got kids.
Yeah, my little. Okay, well, I'll get you some. Go on. All right. So yeah. So where was I?
Anana.
Len, Onana, I think they were waiting for a defender to come or one of the attackers to commit guys forward for them to pass. I'm okay with that. But like when Yoro has the ball, he can do that too.
Yeah.
He could hold the ball late and make the defense switch to come on to you a little bit more and free up some guys there on the wing that can start the attack early
Yeah.
instead of progressing it through the field. Because sometimes you just want to get the ball to a certain point, and his passing was good today. Yoro can do that. So
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm happy to see. I can't wait to see him back to see what he can do, but I really don't want him to flop at Man United
I got
because
a big question for you, and a big question to everybody watching or watching it tomorrow, whenever you're watching. You're watching tomorrow, put it down in the comments. Do you think it was a good thing that Leny Yoro got injured so he didn't have to play under Ten Hag?
nah, I don't think so because I want to see him.
No, I get that, but
I
he's
want to
got
see what he got.
no. I absolutely get that, but he didn't play under Ten Hag, so he's not going to have that mentality of all those other players. He didn't play. He had training session. His first game back as playing is going to be under a brand new manager who didn't put. He hasn't learned all the tactics of the other old manager. Like I don't know. I'm kind of. I wanted to see him, but we also had a good defense. You know, it hasn't been bad this season. You know, if we score goals, we're a lot higher in the table than we are right now. For me, it's kind of. I'm kind of glad that he wasn't playing under Ten Hag. You know, he's now going to come in and learn under 𝗈𝗻𝗄 and not having to learn some of the bad ways maybe Ten Hag was teaching some of these players, because some of these players clearly, since Ten Hag's gone, see more freedom in the players. You see more smiles on the players. More, you know, the passing is incredible since Ten Hag left. When Ten Hag was here, the passing was, they would get under so much pressure they would pass the ball too hard to the next player. The next player wasn't able to control it, and by the time he did control it, another player, one of their players, was on him. So I'm just kind of, hindsight's 2020. I'm just kind of glad that his first game back is going to be under a new manager.
I feel like he's so young that he could be malleable, right?
Yeah.
Like he could be molded by any manager as long as they're worth their weight. Ten Hag just so happened not to be worth it tactically. So I don't feel like these players are holding on. Like I don't think Casemiro is negatively benefited by being coached by Ten Hag because he's also, has a plethora of experience.
Yeah.
So like with Euro, I think Euro's so young. I feel like if he did play under Ten Hag, he's not going to be hampered by holding on to whatever bad habits or instruction Ten Hag was giving him. I think these guys, if they're going to make it in this team, they have to be able to be coachable. I think that's just a go.
Yeah.
They're just a go for any player. You have to be coachable. You have to be able to adapt and thrive in a new system, wherever where you go. Especially in today's football, where you could be on one team and then 2 years later you're on another team, and 2 years later you're on another team. Like we've seen
Yeah.
guys go to several different teams and not figure it out wherever they've been, and then they finally find one team, and now they're firing, and you're like, whoa! Like Danny Welbeck, for
Mhm.
example. Danny Welbeck flopped at Man United. Danny Welbeck wasn't the best at Arsenal. Danny Welbeck is now people are talking about bringing him back because he's at Brighton
Right.
and scoring goals. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm
Mhm.
not saying he's the best. I'm just saying sometimes certain system fits other guys and they're more susceptible to learning in different systems as opposed to others. So I don't necessarily think playing on. I would like to have seen him play.
Mhm.
I would like to have not had him hurt and him to get some rhythm because like him being hurt, he's gonna come back, and this team is still new to him.
Yeah.
It's still a new team. So it's like you still have to. Now the learning curve is a little more steep because you have to learn. Now you're learning in the season. You're not learning in these throwaway games we had in the beginning where we were like, okay, yeah, we drew here, we lost here, whatever the case. It's like now we're in a different situation. The winning is more important, and we're behind. So the learning curve is definitely more steep for him. But I
Casey
would
said,
love to have seen him.
yeah. Casey saying, I don't know. I guess it's good Lenny didn't play because Eric Ten Hag didn't seem to teach defensive structure. And then he also says it did seem like the players were having a bad experience playing under Ten Hag.
Yeah, I feel like the instructions were bad. They
Yeah.
just like how I feel like Ten Hag was instructing Onana to do what he was doing before. I
Yeah.
feel like Rude's kind of doing the same thing, right? They're not playing exponentially different. They just the pep, the fervor they have, the excitement they have for the game. It looks like they have a weight off their shoulder. And one of the announcers said it today. It was like they look unshackled.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I think that's what it was. I think the weight of expectation under Ten Hag and all that stuff. You always see that when a new manager comes in.
Yeah.
They look unshackled. They look like they're ready to go. So I think that's really what it is. His mentality has changed a bit. Um, Guys know that they're playing for their careers now again. A
Yeah.
lot of these guys have done it for 4 or 5 managers. Not so many of them now, but a lot of them kind of understand that, like, hey, this new guy's not going to play around. I need to play for my spot right now.
Yeah.
I'm not a favorite in anymore. I need to figure it out. So, yeah, definitely want to see because I want to see. I'm a guy like this. If somebody says you're ready and we buy you and we pay money, I want to see. Let's get to it. Let's shit or get off the pot. And
Hmm.
like I will give credence to if you're hurt, if the system's not good, I will make those cases for you when they apply, when they're applicable. But if you're just stinking out the joint week in and week out, I shouldn't have to wait to see that. I need
No.
to know that now. So that's how I am. I'm into bringing guys in and going there, but when we spend a lot of money for you and you're highly touted, Rio talking about this guy is gonna be this and this and that, you got to show.
Hmm. Yeah. I think there's going to be a number of players in this squad that possibly leave in the summer. I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to let Rashford go yet, but I think this might be a chance for him to maybe move on. I know he just signed a new contract. We can command a lot of money for Rashford right now, especially a team like PSG. Um, but I am willing to see if he can regain his form under Amarim, because he's obviously going to play him in that, three at the top. So there's a lot of it. There's a lot of people up front for 𝗈𝗻𝗀 to play in 3 positions. Because we know the wing backs are more likely, especially on the left, there's going to be someone new coming in. That's going to limit their chance on the left. I know 𝗈𝗀𝙍𝙀, give him a break, rest him a little bit. I think Leicester is a perfect game to leave him on the bench. Bring him in after 60 minutes. We got Rashford. We got 𝗈𝗻𝗀 just cemented his place for Saturday. This is a great opportunity for 𝗈𝗀𝙍𝙀 to be rested. Let's see what those two could do on either side of the wing. But yeah, there's a lot of players leaving at the end of the summer. There's a lot of players that are not going to fit this system. Are they going to want to stay at Man United? Because I know 𝗈𝗻𝗀's going to be like, nah, nope, you're gone. And I hope some of the big names kind of decide to leave instead of pulling, Phil Jones and I'm not leaving. I'm going to collect my money on the bench. So I'm excited for the summer. I've always said that the second summer of new owners and the new system is going to be where you look at and a turning point for the team. And now that we've got a manager in, I think this is a huge, huge summer for Manchester United.
I think I'm okay with Rashford going.
Mhm.
I think he just turned 27. This is when I think this needs to be the season we decide, and then we can get the most amount for him now
Yeah.
at 27. Than we can if he progresses and stays a little bit longer. I think I've seen all that I can see from Rashford. I love him. I think Rashford is one of my favorite players.
Mhm.
I love what he does for the community. I think he's a stand-up dude. He's been a little bit unprofessional before in the past, but all in all, he's a pretty much professional guy. He's not in like he's not like has been as bad as some of the players we've had before, as far as domestic issues or any kind of sexual issues or anything like that. I
Mhm.
think he's just an all around good lad. And but I think as far as it goes, if he can't succeed under 𝗈𝗻𝗀 or doesn't find some consistent form, I think I'm okay to let him go. Just for the money. We can still get. I mean, Rashford's a big name, and he still has a lot of pace. He still could technically do something for some other side. But if he can't do it for 𝗈𝗻𝗀, I'm okay with it now. I feel like a lot of us are holding on to hope for him because we like him, and I do like him, but I'm also okay to part ways with him. Like if a deal came in in the wintertime, which it wouldn't, but like if a deal came in the wintertime and they're like, hey, we want to give you 50 million or 45 million for Rashford, I wouldn't be too mad at that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, me too. I think whether Casey is saying I'm okay with Rashi going myself, I feel like it would be a good for him. He just doesn't look like he's enjoying his time. He doesn't. You could see him smiling in training. But he's there with his friends. Of course, I'm going to be happy in training. I'm, hanging out with my friends. But yeah, on the pitch, he doesn't look happy. So, I think it's a good time for him to possibly move on, unless 𝗈𝗻𝗀 can just turn him around how he was 2 years ago, and start scoring the goals. But other than that, let's look ahead for Leicester. We just beat Leicester 5-2. What are you thinking this weekend? How do you
I
think
think
we're
it's
going to
not
be?
going to be as much of a cakewalk as before.
No.
Um, Leicester's a little bit more. They played their B team against us. I don't understand why they. I mean, they played right before that, so I get why they made the change. Um, I don't think it's going to be a 5-2 demolition like before. I still think we're going to win that game. I still think they are a weaker side to us comparatively and just based on just form. But Man United, we like to save a bullet for ourselves.
We do.
We like to shoot ourselves in the foot. All my gun analogies are coming out right now, but yeah, we like to do damage to ourselves. So Leicester could exploit us. They can pop out on us. We have to manage the expectations of these games. The players can't look past anybody. They have no divine right to any victory.
No,
Okay,
they don't.
City don't have it. City just lost to Bournemouth. Nobody has a divine right to think they could rock up to any place and beat any team. You should feel like that, but you should also know in the back of your head a game's a game and the ball has to be kicked. So with that being said, I still think we win. I don't think it's going to be a sexy win like 5, but I still think we win that game. And I feel like we could start with this team here.
Yeah.
Just change the defending. The defending needs to change. I want to see Delict. I want to see Martinez starting.
Hmm.
I want to see Dello and Mazraoui. Ugarte still, Casemiro and Bruno. And yeah, same side. Just change the defending a bit, and I feel like we can get a job done there. Leicester's main thing is that they have a little bit of pace
Hmm.
to hit you on the break. And they have a little bit of experience in a Jamie Vardy that
Hmm.
can get you a goal out of nowhere. That guy loves to score against United. Um,
Yes.
so he loves to score against the big 6 in general. So even at his advanced age, I still feel he could do damage to us if we come in there thinking that he's sweet. We can't think he's sweet. We got to treat him like we got to bully him. We got to be on his back. We got to, take the Red Bull out his hand and crush the can. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we gotta do work, but I don't think he starts. They got Daka there too
Yeah.
that can get up and down the pitch. Um, they got some guys, bro. They're underperforming. I picked them to stay up in the beginning of the season. It doesn't look like it now, but I don't we can't walk in here and think it's just gonna be easy.
No, absolutely not. And the one thing I think Man United do have a little bit more going for them is they all know this is the last chance for them to impress before the manager comes in. Like as of Sunday, we have a new manager. This is their last chance, and I think I'm gonna go with you on the defense. Change the 2 in defense, and I would drop Garnacho.
Yeah.
Not drop him before because of performances, just because he needs a rest. Other than that, I would probably keep the same team. I think Ugarte and Casemiro are doing too well in midfield to drop. I think I would give probably Mason Mount 20 minutes this time instead of 10. But one of the other good things is too, after this game, not just we have a new manager, I think we have pretty much everyone back from injury. Malassi is already in training. He's already training with the team. Luke Shaw, I know he just got he's not quite ready yet, but we got a week off. Maybe he's good. And one of the other things too is I'm excited to see is, was it really our medical staff or was it Ten Hag that was injuring these players?
Or was it freak injury?
Or was it freak injuries? Because something was going on. But I think since he's left, we haven't had an injury. Now, I know that's only been 3 games. But 3 games is a long time when Ten Hag's in charge for an injury. No, so 1878 casuals are saying Ahmed has to start. Absolutely agree with you. He has to start on Saturday.
I don't even know why that was even people just saying some crazy stuff saying he was our best player today and he was going crazy. Now he gave the ball up some weird ways, like when he dummied that ball before the second half, before the whistle for the second half, and it got to nowhere. I almost screamed in my job. I said, oh, I could have grabbed my head and screamed because but the gall of that kid at his age to do that at that time, it gave me a little bit of, I had to really readjust myself a little bit there. The guy came on, he was direct. He was going at guys, beating guys. Understand the quality of opposition with all due respect, but still was doing a job that I don't think Anthony does.
No.
I don't think Garnacho can do right now because
No.
he's looks so gassed. I see Garnacho give up on a couple of runs today and pass the ball short to people that were by themselves. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's tired, bro. He's tired. He looks. I was not convinced last week in the last show. I was more on the side, like, man, you 20 years old.
Yeah.
But people get tired, bro. It's okay. We're running him into the ground.
I'm going to touch on another subject real quick. One of your favorite. VAR. What the fuck are you doing? How was that not a penalty?
They need to at least look at it.
They did.
I'm saying like the ref needs to go and look at it.
Yeah.
Make if I'm the VAR, I say, hey, there might be some more. He looked like he stamped on his foot. Go look at it at least. Because you didn't call it a foul on the pitch. You said it's nothing. VAR said there might be something.
Yeah.
Now VAR needs to instruct you to go and look at it, and then put the onus back on you because you are you're right there in the action. So VAR has the thing with VAR is like people think it's a robot, right? It's not a robot. It's a bunch of people still making decisions, and people are susceptible to error, prone to error. So there needs to be some, hey, I looked at it. I think there's a little something there. I think you need to look at it and put the onus back on you to make the decision because you were so confident enough to say there wasn't nothing and you weren't close to it. Now you can see it in real time, slowed down and close up. So you go and look at it now and make the decision. But they didn't even get to that part. And that right there is what I think is the issue. I think some of these referees, they're either scared and they don't want to make that kind of decision, or they're too full of themselves and they make these decisions against the magnitude of the game or run of the game as well. All these things have to be taken into account, and you're going to get it wrong. But look at it.
Yeah. But like, I'm going to touch back on the Arsenal game today because the VAR and referees were horrendous in that game yesterday. Absolutely horrendous.
It's always Arsenal too. That's the crazy part.
So for me, and I'm not saying this as a Man United fan, I'm saying this as a football fan. That was a stonewall penalty.
Yeah.
The player's going past him. He doesn't get his foot on the ball. His foot goes down the side of his leg. The player goes down.
It stays down.
It stays down for a significant amount of time. How on earth that wasn't a penalty is beyond me. The Arsenal game infuriated the crap out of me. Like, I felt sorry for Arsenal yesterday because the ball, their penalty, not Arsenal's, Milan's penalty, was just a kick at the ball and it hit his hand. Okay, some refs will give that, some won't give it. But to not give a penalty for a goalkeeper double fisting a guy's face is absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. And it just goes to show that I'm on the borderline right now of taking VR out of the game completely until it is fixed. We were fine before it. We'll be fine without it again. And to me, it's ruining the game of football. It's ruining something I've watched since 1987 because the amount of times, like, I can't remember who was playing at the weekend. He was clearly offside. By clearly offside, but the ref spent 4 minutes looking at this. That's something that shouldn't be done. I understand that it's always been around in American football, and I'm not saying get rid of it because of, it's slowing down the game. I'm saying get rid of it because the decision-making is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Like, we all know for a fact that if a Man United player takes a player down like that, that's a stonewall point. They'll give the penalty against Man United. But for some reason, that penalty, it bugged the crap out of me. Not because we needed the goal. We won anyway, but it was clearly a penalty, and it drove me insane.
I think, for me, the linos are so bad these days that, like, we need VAR for that.
Yeah.
Like, we need VAR to research if a ball was played onside that led to a goal.
Yeah.
100%. That's what VAR is needed.
Yeah.
So that right there is what I would say. But when it comes to penalty decisions or, people doing red card infractions or whatever the case may be, I feel like they get it way wrong. And like you said, you alluded to the American game. See, the thing is with the American game, well, actually, I learned over the summer, I think it was actually last summer, I forgot who it was. I think it was England versus I don't forget who it was, but the place was packed. I don't really watch rugby. But I learned that they talk and you can hear.
Oh, yeah, you can hear it.
you could hear it. And I'm like, we need to do that because we need to hear it in real time, how you got to this decision and who made it. So that way there can be clear blame squared on it. Not a week later, not a game, not the PGO MOL saying later on and blah, blah, blah. And then there needs to be real penalties there. There's no penalty for a lot of these guys. They get dropped, they come back, and they ref again. Like, there's no penalty for when they get it wrong, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the sport that has it down the best is baseball, right? Baseball has it down, but it's very baseball's a very
game.
it's a very slow. You could see it as it happens type, and we don't have that. We have a 3D moving game that's happening in real time with a lot of bodies have collisions and stuff like that. But at least in these other sports, you can hear the talking. You can hear how they got to this. The commentators are clearly tell you play by play what they're hearing from the official. In the Prem, it's just, oh, they're going to look at it. Oh, and then they'll say what they think should happen. Right. And then you have a lot of guys that played in the 80s and 90s. They're talking to like, oh, no, that's nothing. That's nothing for me. That doesn't help.
Yeah.
That doesn't help. But yeah, for as far as offside goes, I think if VAR was gone, Dallo just scored an offside goal a week back. He was offside in a goal, and because the Carabao doesn't have VAR, they let it stood. And I remember back in the day watching that and seeing guys offside and being mental, losing games because a guy was clear offside, and that will make people mad. So VAR for offside decisions, cool. Fouls before goals, okay. But this in the box, don't know, won't look at it. Come on. Nah, the onus needs to be put on the man who's blowing that whistle, because you said there wasn't a foul. I think there is, and I have 100 TVs in slow-mo to look at it. Go look at it again with slowed down and sped up, and then you tell us if you still think this decision. But to not even look is crazy.
For me, I understand why the ref didn't give it. The reason why I understand why the ref didn't give it is Ahmed's going around the back of the player towards the goal line, and he's got the player's coming is right next to him. I understand, and the game goes fast, so I understand why it wasn't given. But for someone to say, hey, go look at that again, do not say, don't go look at that again, is just horrendous.
Yeah, gotta look at it.
Yeah, you gotta look at that, and especially, when it's 0-0. You gotta look at situations like that. I agree with you. What bugged me more is the linesman had a better view of it too, and he didn't speak up. He's looking at that, separated. So it bugged me. It bugged me yesterday. It's been bugging me for a while. Talking about the offside though, for me it has to be the definitive. I'm sick and tired of seeing this guy's arm is offside. There's no advantage when a guy's arms is offside. If his legs are behind, if his legs, should I say, are in front of the defender's legs, it's offside. If his legs are behind the defender, it's offside. There's no advantage of a guy's arm being, or toe.
You can't score with the arm.
Yeah, there's no advantage if the guy's poo is a millimeter in front of it. There's no advantage, and for me, that drives me insane. I'll be like, hey, there's no. If I was a ref, I'd be like, no, like he's offside. Technically, he's offside, but he's not got an advantage there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that bugs me. It's been bugging me for a little. VAR's been bugging me for a little while. But again, we can't always necessarily blame the referees and VAR, because it's always coming down from the top too. They're the ones the top's making the decisions. They're making the rules. Hey, his toe's offside. He's got to be called back. So we can't always necessarily blame the refs.
Hey, a foot being offside saved us and let us win the Carabao Cup during Coventry. If that guy was a size 9, that goal stands and we're out. We don't even get.
No, I agree. I agree with you. And to be honest, we deserve to lose that game if we did.
Yep, sure did.
So
I feel like we robbed them.
Yeah, if that's how it is, and we don't win the FA Cup because of that, at the end of the day, Ten Hag won't be here, would he? So it wasn't always that good. So coming up at 9:00, you got anything else to add? About the game Sunday? Are you excited about the new manager?
Yeah, ready. So when is his first game in charge?
Ipswich is the first game.
Okay, so just want to see us win again. I want to see us win. I want to see some points being had. I want to see. I'm happy to see football on the weekend in general.
Yeah.
I want to see us win. I want to see us move up the table. Start doing the climb. It needs to start now before all the other teams decide that they want to be good. Because I think that's what's happening. And I remember I gotta give he won't see this, but I gotta give credit to Glenn because he said something a long time ago, and I always kind of agreed with him, but I also was trying to big up our players. What he said was, in Ten Hag's first season, we were third. Everybody was pretty bad, and like they were all pretty struggling for form. And like it's not until the end of Liverpool, if Liverpool had 2 or 3 more games, they would have lapped us. We would have they wouldn't have been in fifth. Right now, we didn't deserve Champions League football because of it, but that's all in hindsight now. But I think right now everybody's dropping points to each other. Right, Tottenham's dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, they drew with us. Like
Arsenal.
Arsenal's three losses. 2 of them were in Europe, or one of them was in Europe. I can't remember, but they lost in the league as well. Um, and City's not firing right now. This is the time where you get in there, you get your 3 points quiet, and creep up the table. And around the end of December, people are looking at you like, oh shit, Man United is in seventh. Now they might be in seventh, tied with 2 other teams, but oh shit, they're in seventh, and they put together a good run of form of games. Even if they're only winning by a goal or 2 goals or whatever the case, they're finding goals and they're putting games to bed. And I feel like this is the time with these weaker opposition, with all due respect to them, weaker sides like Leicester and Ipswich. This is where you come up and you eat, and you could turn 13th and the ninth real fast.
Oh yeah.
You could turn 13 and the sixth with a couple victories. So this is me saying that without the league table in front of
No,
me.
I get you.
But yeah, this just I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. Rude's last game is gonna be a hot ticket item. Shout out to my boy Martin. Um, he's a longtime Red, probably like 1960. He was at the game today, and we have a great record when Martin's at the game. Martin has gone to 4 games and we've won all 4 of them. So we've been telling him now, Martin, get to the damn games. Now we've either not lost or won the games. We're not losing. So just I'm excited, guys. I want to hear from you. I want to see. Let's talk during the matches. I'm gonna start a Discord so we can just like have our conversations in real
Mm-hmm.
time during the game. It's gonna be a what you call it Discord. Everybody could just join in and we could.
I actually have one that we could just. It's already put together. We can already just.
So yeah, we'll drop the link for the next episode. People could just get in
Mhm.
there. Everybody, LA Reds, Pittsburgh, everybody that's involved, and just anybody watching or watch it later. We'll get in Discord. I want to talk about these games in real time,
Yeah.
and then you could just come on. We could talk about it on here.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to say, we've got 2 weeks on Sunday is first game. We don't play again till the 24th of November after this weekend. So he's got a good time to get together with the players not going out on loan, going out on international duty.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate the international break.
I hate it too. I don't hate it if it's a World Cup qualifier or a European Cup qualifier. This league thing they've got going on needs to end. It's only going to end up with injured players.
But it breaks up the rhythm of the season.
It does. It does. And like you could be. Let's not forget, this gives Arsenal and Man City almost 2 weeks to get their players back. And it disrupts this. But coming back from it, we have Ipswich and then we have Bodo Glint. Then we have Everton on December the 1st. But after that, we don't have an easy run of games. We've got Arsenal on the 4th, Forest on the 7th, then we have City on the 15th, Tottenham on the 19th in the UEFA Cup quarterfinal, then Bournemouth. And then and then we have a decent game against Wolves, but then we have Newcastle on December the 30th. We don't have an easy run of games in December. These are not easy games by far, and this is where we need to make a run. Other than that, Mikey, I just wanted to talk to you. No football next weekend. Next week, we'll probably just have the show on Monday talking about, and then if anything happens in between, then we might have a quick show on a Thursday. But probably during the national breaks and the off season, we'll pop down to one. It gives Mikey time to spend more time with his kid. So yeah, we'll probably just do the one show next week. We'll try and put some videos out in between, so more content is coming out.
Yes, I have a good video coming out. It's actually done. Just putting the last few pinches on it because I like to make documentary style stuff. I will be releasing this one on 2 channels, so it'll be able to be seen by my subscribers on those Atlanta Reds and also on UnitedFanZone. So I'm just gonna be doing this more often and just putting out stuff. I'm just hella content, just Man United related content.
Perfect.
Story stuff, history stuff, just everything for the fan.
Perfect. Yep. Well, other than that, 1878, love the show, gentlemen. Keep it going. We will see everybody on Monday for talk along about what happened on Leicester. And then we'll also see you on Tuesday for those casual Reds. But everything else, peace out, guys.
Peace. Coming to you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.